So if you've been struggling to make things happen with you and your horse, is it possible at all that you're focusing on either nothing or completely the wrong things? Because this happens so often. This is the key reason that no matter what you do, things don't change. Well, this episode of Daily Strides Revisited, I am pulling another episode from 2020. Oh yes, 2020. I do reference it a couple of times in here now, okay? But I'm pulling it out because I think if you could do the work that I outline in this episode, it's going to get you much clearer on what you actually need to then begin to focus on when it comes to working with your horse. Okay, let's dive in.
How much time are you wasting in your riding? And not only your own time, you're wasting your horse's time, your trainer's time, the important people in your life's time. How much time are you wasting? I am going to say that every time you get in the saddle without a clear intention, you're wasting time. Hi there, my name is Lorna Leeson and welcome to the Daily Strides podcast, the podcast for novice equestrians where, well, sometimes I dish out the tough love. And this is one of those times because I have seen it so often recently, and I feel particularly in the situation that we're in, and this is not to make any less of the situation we're in, but I think that where we are right now as a global community, we have been easy with ourselves and we've given ourselves grace, and that's fine, and I think that's good, and I think that for many of us that's how we actually got through and are continuing to get through what is going on in the world. But I also think that at some point we need to get a little bit more intentional, because if you are not intentionally building and using each ride in order to work towards a goal that really lights you up, that excites you in the saddle, you're wasting your time, and you're wasting your horse's time. You're wasting everyone else's time as well. So I wanted today challenge you that by the time we meet up here next week, okay, on the podcast, that you would have a goal that you really and truly want to work on in your riding. And if you're thinking, Lauren, I have lots of goals, but 2020 and all that came with it, that's okay. I do feel that sometimes, first of all, we have opportunities in our life. That life kind of gives us these moments where we can redefine what we want. This could be one of those, okay? But I also think that sometimes we tend to just carry things over. Now, I was guilty of this. I'm putting my hands up here, okay? This was me. So I'd have a goal, lots of goals actually, on a couple of different, well, not lots, but like there were a few reoccurring ones there, okay? And I had these goals, and every year I just carried them forward. They just, like, I didn't reach them. Now, sometimes I might have came close to reaching them, but, close, schmose, wasn't really that important, was it? But I carried it forward because those goals, for some reason, I had it tied into my version of what me, in order to be successful, and for me, in order to think of myself as being successful in riding and whatever it was that the goals were surrounding, I had those goals tied up in that, okay? Now, when I took a long, hard look at the goals, it was like, hold on there now. First of all, why am I not reaching those goals? Why is this goal on my list year after year after year? And secondly, do I want to continue to keep this goal on my list? Is this the goal that lights me up? And the fact that the goal was on the list year after year after year, you already know the answer to that question. No, it wasn't. Now, some of the goals were goals that were set by a past version of me, okay? A version of me that at that point in the game, I had decided, and life is a big game, but I had decided that was the goal for me. That was what lit me up. That was what I'm moving forward towards. That was it. That goal meant something to me. But over time, I changed. You changed too. We all change, okay? And I kind of had this thing that, you often feel like a failure. And I think sometimes we're taught that we can't turn away from a goal, okay? We can't kind of change our minds and decide, maybe that's not for me. But I'm first of all giving you permission. You can do that. And secondly, celebrate the fact that you've done that, because it means that you've changed and you've grown as a person, which is marvelous, and we should always celebrate those things, okay? So I, anyway, had these goals, and I was like, past version of me, not me anymore. And I dropped them. Now, the other thing was that While the goal in and of itself might still light me up, even now I have some goals that have been there from maybe 15 years ago that I am still like, oh, I love. I recognize that the season that I'm in right now in my life, that goal's not for now. And it's not that I'm putting it aside forever, but I am going to postpone on it for probably another few years. And then I can actually dedicate myself to the goal, okay? Now, the reason I'm telling you this about seasons is because it is really important that your riding goals, okay, your equestrian goals, your goals as a horsey person, okay, they have to align with your current priorities in your life. They have to align with what you value. And again, your priorities and your values will shift and they will change. And this is why it's really important that you are regularly updating. You're regularly and being really mindful and saying, okay, you know what? This is important now. That, not so much. And having goals in your riding that actually line up and even sometimes support or complement the priorities and the things that are going on in your day-to-day life now that are so important to you, that will help you. It has this ripple effect. Like you have this one little positive part, okay? Even in a life that maybe if you're in a season where things are not that hot. And I get it. So many people are right now. Like life is a little chaotic for a lot of people. Life can be filled with maybe quite a bit of fear right now for people. Life is different for a lot of people right now, and just the mere fact that it's different means that it's not comfortable and it's not the same anymore, and that's okay. And your riding, imagine if your riding could be this shining, I don't know, place in each week where you got to just enjoy yourself. And imagine then the ripple effect that would have on the rest of your life, even on those circumstances that right now you cannot change. It can just have this positive effect. So back to just setting your goals as a rider, it is really important that they align with your values and your priorities. Now, if you're wondering, well, Lorna, that's marvellous, but what are my values and priorities? I'm going to say, show me the last month of your life. Now, not what you wanted to make happen. No, that's different. I'm talking about what actually happened this past month, the past 30 days. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about your time the past 30 days. Let's talk about how you spent it, where you spent it, who you spent it with, what you spent it doing. Okay, let's talk about all those things. They are your priorities. Now, that is a harsh truth for a lot of people. And it's a harsh reality. And people are saying that's not true, but it is. And the sooner that you could accept that, the sooner you could actually start changing things, tweaking things. And whether the tweaking is in your riding goals or whether the tweaking is in your lifestyle, but you could start to tweak things to make things align a little bit better with what you actually want to focus and to prioritize in your life. Okay, so I want you to start thinking about your riding and your riding goals. And I want you to start thinking about what lights you up. Okay, so if we could just write down 3 things that you absolutely love about horse riding, like the 3 things that if you could spend all day, every day, doing those 3 things and forget about what you think you should be doing and what other people are doing. And other people could be the people at the barn, the people on the internet, the people on the emails, the people that are just around you. Forget about them. Think about you right now. If you could spend all your time with your horse doing 3 things, what would those 3 things be? Okay. And then from there, if you were to deepen your conversation with your horse, deepen your relationship, how could you do so spending time doing those 3 things? What could deepen? What could you work on? What would really feel fulfilling to you and your horse? So, for example, I really enjoy, and you're going to laugh now, but this is a true story. I enjoy brushing horses' tails. I know. We will pause there for a moment. Just let that one sink in. But it's true. I don't know. I've just noticed this thing since I got back from Ireland that I just enjoy that. It actually, anybody who's here for a long time know that I love hiking. Like, I love it. It is one of my favorite things to do in the world. Like, I love it. And what I found that between like having little people and I was nursing little people and we were doing all the fun stuff, and it was at my time, I basically had my life in kind of 3 to 4 hour increments. Okay, my life was lived that way for a while. It feels like for a long while now, but there we go. And I had to begin tailoring things in my life to suit the season that I was in at that point. Okay, and unfortunately, like spending a day off hiking on my own in the veldt, that wasn't going to cut it. That wasn't going to come in there, okay? So instead of feeling bad about it, I started thinking about what I could do. And long and the short of it, I kind of fell into it actually quite accidentally, but brushing horses' tails, I just enjoy it. Don't know why I enjoy it. I don't know, it doesn't sound that marvellous, but it does. I find that it gives me thinking time. I get to feel inspired. It just makes me feel better. And I know you're probably rolling your eyes going, Lorna, but seriously, there we go. I'm being absolutely honest with you here in full transparency, okay? So brushing horses' tails. But the other thing that I really enjoy doing is lunging. I love lunging. So anybody who's with me for a long time knows that I love lunging horses. I love it. Like, love it. I would do it all day long. I would do it for free all day long. I love it. And I also love working over poles. I love doing any sort of ground poles, groundwork, and I also love jumping poles. I love poles, okay? Pole work. I really enjoy that as well. So if I was to take those 3 things, brushing tails, lunging, and working over poles, and begin thinking about goals that I could create on those 3, the options are endless. Like, I could really and truly just go to town on goals there with those 3. And then beginning to then make that, because I know that those 3 things are things that I can fit into my current lifestyle. They align with, they support even my current schedule, which is a little bit crazy right now, but that's it. It's a period, it's a season, I understand that, and I've had to try and mix and match things to fit in with that. I want you to really and truly get clear on what you want to make happen, but what you want, not what somebody else wants and what you think you should want and what the person over there thinks you should have, okay? What do you want? Accept that there are going to be things you're going to let go, and then begin to work on it. Begin to move everything towards what you actually want to happen. And again, if you're thinking, okay, so my priorities, begin just looking at the previous month. Like, look at it. And if you did spend a bit of time getting sucked into things that maybe were not that productive or maybe what you don't want, that's okay. No judgment, just see it for what it is. But now you can begin to actually get clear on where you do want to spend that time and your focus and your attention. Okay, hopefully you can pluck a couple of nuggets from this. If you're interested in finding out more about all this, I have a whole system that I help riders with in order to actually make plans to get to those goals. It's really important. I'm really big on including fun into the plan as well, and fun and training and developing and building the partnership with you and your horse. If you're interested in doing all that, I'm going to invite you to join me inside of my free Facebook group that we are actually going to do live trainings on this topic for a week, and I want to help you really and truly make this work for you and your horse. So you can find the group over at stridesforsuccess.com/group. There we go. Rocket science, hey? Have a great one. Keep well. And I'll see you here next week. Be good. Bye.
So there you have it. Now, I hope that you're going to take my advice and you're going to do the work. You're going to set aside a little bit of time. You're going to do the work. And then you're going to apply that to your plan that we spoke about on Tuesday. Yeah. You're going to apply it to your plan and you're going to move forward in your riding. I cannot stress this enough. If you don't have anything to move towards or to work towards, you're not going to go anywhere. You have to have a plan, and you have to have your plan taking you to somewhere fairly specific. And remember, it's all about you. What do you want to be specific about? Doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It's all about what you want for you and your horse's journey going forward. If you would like some help with this, again, I'm going to encourage you to join me over inside of Daily Strides Premium. You can find all the details over at stridesforsuccess.com/DSP. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Have a wonderful week and I'll chat to you soon. Be good. Bye.